I just returned from a business trip, and while visiting a friend and her business, she invited me to sit with the executive leadership team and a consultant they had hired to solve their company's branding problem. And what was their branding problem? No one knew who they were. That's the branding problem. And that's what a consultant does. Someone hired to solve a problem the people there can't or don't have the skills to solve. They've tried, but it just hasn't worked. So they spend for a specialist, a consultant. And everything was going just all right. Nothing special. Some numbers here, maybe change this metric, measure some different things there. It was really a typical consultant's presentation. And no one was really impressed. And it showed. And then it happened. The consultant, sensing that they were losing the room, made their final big pitch. And if you want to find out what they said next, tap the like button. And then let's find out what we can learn from this world of consulting and if we can actually help people do this better, maybe hire better, and maybe work better as consultants ourselves. Hi, my name is James Callahan, and this is the Do-Over Show, where we turn second chances into gold, just like a consultant does. One of the things I get to do is help businesses, startups, entrepreneurs, and nonprofits get out of their own way and start to get the attention from the audience, the customers, the supporters that they need to make what they want to do possible. My motto is no money, no mission. You can have the greatest passion in the world, the greatest dream. You can know your why from A to Z, but unless you have money, that dream turns into a nightmare. So there's this trick that consultants use to get you to give them your business. It's really manipulative. It's almost downright evil. And they use it every single time they get desperate. The consultant in that room said, here's what you need to do. You need to show how unique and different you are from everybody else who does what you do. And you need to show how much better you are than your competitors.
Time. What did you shoot today?
Oh, I don't keep score, Judge.
Oh, well, how do you measure yourself with other golfers?
By height.
You need to show people what makes you special. Your delta. Okay, that person learned the word delta in an MBA class because people do not speak in Greek letters. And delta is just another way of talking about your difference or uniqueness. And it's essential to figure out where you are. It's part of self-awareness in business and in life. And when that consultant in that room mentioned differentiation, uniqueness, competitors, delta, every face in the room brightened. And the consultant knew it was a game changer. All you have to do, he said, is talk about your difference, your uniqueness, and what your competitors are not good at, what they can't or won't do. You see, one of the primary things a good consultant does is give perspective, add perspective. They're supposed to see literally the whole field, maybe in a way that you don't have the ability to do because your head is down and you're doing your own job in your own company. But a consultant is supposed to see the landscape and provide you with perspective. And it worked. They wrapped up the meeting. They said that they would get back with the executive leadership team. They would work out a plan and they would call it the Delta Initiative. By the way, call anything an initiative and it sells. And everyone was happy, except my friend. When everybody's face lit up and everybody started nodding along with the competitiveness and the uniqueness and the differentiation and the delta, my friend looked concerned or worried. So when the room started to empty, we lingered behind. I said, you don't seem to have enjoyed that meeting as much as others. What are you feeling right now? She stopped, looked around the room, made sure everybody had gone, and said, that's all we do. All we do is worry about other people. All we do is talk about our competitors, how they beat us, how they outsell us, how they get market share. And that's really not a solution. It's not an initiative. That's just insecurity. So why does this kind of pitch work? Well, when consultants start to lose their way, when they start to lose a room, they know that they can win work and keep work better if they appeal to the ego of executives and leaders. Okay, let me illustrate for you. Gary Vee, Mr. Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur's entrepreneur everywhere, has always said that we get our priorities mixed up. And he throws in a few F-bombs for good measure. Gary Vee has always said that his priorities are this. First, his company and his people, his employees and their culture. And second, his clients, customers and their experience. And third, his clients. And to find clients who agree with this, who see their customers as more important than themselves, and to find a consultant that will pitch them on that takes a radical degree of emotional maturity. The reason executives and leaders, most often in smaller businesses, struggling startups, and especially in nonprofits, tend to resonate with this focus on uniqueness and differentiation and being better than the competitors is because they're just not there yet as an organization or as leaders.
I'd like to go ahead and welcome a new member to our team here. This is Bob Slidell. Yeah, Bob is a consultant.
And that means for consultants to get that work and to keep that work, they have to balance that customer concern, which is obvious and necessary, with the need to make the people who are paying them happy. Hey, the alternative to a traditionally transactional consulting relationship is really straightforward and simple. The first test is this. If what the consultant is telling you makes you feel better, makes you happy, makes you more comfortable, then it's probably not going to help you or your business. You have to feel a little awkward or insecure when you hear the reality of what you've tried and failed to accomplish from an outsider who sees the whole field. And then you turn that awkwardness into a strong motivation to make the changes you need to. And when I hear things like, yeah, but all my friends agree with me, that tells me you need new friends and different friends. The next thing is to check your buzzwords at the door. Mission-driven is the new black.
We're on a mission from God.
It's cool and popular, and so many businesses are redefining themselves with buzzwords of mission. Discover your why, your passion and values and vision. And you're gonna wind up following the cool kids and talk about being customer focused. That's the coolest buzzword people use today. But for most of us, business and even nonprofit work is more transactional than we realize. I remember meeting with one nonprofit not long ago that showed me something they were so proud of. They had gone on another organizational retreat. Why do nonprofits always go on organizational retreats? Anyway, they came back with something and they showed it to me. They were so happy with it and they called it their giving pyramid. They could raise $200,000 more this year if they got 20 people to give $1,000 each, 10 people to give $10,000 each, and 4 people to give $20,000 each. The only problem is, in the year before, they had received less than 20 unique gifts from 20 different individuals, and the total amount was less than $20,000. But when they dreamed up that giving pyramid, all they saw was the $200,000. They didn't see that they didn't have the people to make it happen. And the third test is about metrics, because as the old leadership adage goes, if it can't be measured, it can't be improved. Okay, Boomer, if your metrics matter to you, to your COO, to your CFO, then they probably won't matter to your customers or supporters in the same way. That means your metrics, the ones you're so proud of, really don't help you grow your business with the people who make it possible. For example, if you do an email blast or campaign these days, a 20% open rate is fantastic. Now, a response rate or action rate of less than 0.5 to 1% is fantastic as well. And then you start getting the unsubscribes, and that keeps half of your staff up at night sleepless. So what are you going to measure with that email campaign? Because here's where we have to be careful. If we measure the wrong things, all we're going to be doing is measuring failure. And consultants know what things to measure to make them look good. So what if instead you didn't measure an isolated marketing campaign like an email blast, and instead tried to integrate, repurpose, reuse, resend your greatest hits? If you went to a concert of your all-time favorite artist and they didn't play your favorite songs, you'd be disappointed. It's the same way with the customers or those you're trying to get the attention of. If we constantly send them new material, we make them learn again and again new stories, new messaging, we're going to weary them. They're going to be tired of us rather than celebrate something from us. But if we give them things that are familiar in multiple channels, we'll be building brand with them. But brand isn't easy to measure. It doesn't have a cause and effect metric. But it's trust and good feelings, familiarity, and even routineness. But brand is what sells what we're selling, from Nike swoosh to McDonald's fries. Consultants today, whether they're working for one of the big four or it's just you trying to help use your skills to solve the problems of a business or nonprofit near you, always face the same obstacles. And being the one who really solves the problems isn't easy. In fact, it's really never easy. But if you're in the problem-solving world of consulting, you're needed. And using your skills and abilities, whether it's for your main living or whether it's to make money on the side, is able to help good people do good things to accomplish their dreams and their goals. And you can make a big difference for good people if you are the difference. One quick story to wrap up. I was recently at a Starbucks Reserve Roastery, one of only 6 in the world, when a manager on the floor took their partners aside and asked them one thing and one thing only. Talk to the customers. They're here for an experience, not just the coffee. Today, more than ever, people are looking for an experience and not just a transaction. And in your consulting or hiring a consultant, you can look for the people who can really make a difference. And thanks for being here today. Please tap the like button because it really helps. Hey, and while you're down there, subscribe and ring the notifications bell so you don't miss an episode of The Do-Over Show every Monday and Friday. I'm so glad you found me and I found you. Thanks.